man wants me. I will just wreak havoc on your funhouse. No man wants a good, solid, honest, reliable woman. One that's going to hold him accountable, to challenge him to be better. You're drinking like a fish, I'm going to tell you you're an idiot. Spending money recklessly, I'm not going to go for it. Running your mouth, swearing up a storm, I'm going to tell you the truth. You're trash. I'm no good to a man because I don't want to be your mom. And sadly, a lot of men, well, they might not want a mom, but they need one. Man doesn't want to be told, chew with your mouth shut, wipe your face, take off your dirty shoes, make your bed, stop scrolling, eat your greens. Standards that I have for a man are the standards that I hold for myself. They're high standards, and I live by them. I swear by them. A man doesn't want to live by those standards. They think they're controlling and unreasonable and have different standards for their life. They're of the looser variety. Truly, I'm no good for a man unless he wants to live like a decent, upstanding, productive, healthy human.
This how she deal with not finding a husband after the divorce. These the lies she tell herself so she can sleep at night. They do everything in the world except take accountability. Instead of checking her own flaws and shortcomings, she blame a man so she can put herself on a pedestal as someone who does no wrong.
Some days just suck.
Your ex-husband saw you was full of yourself. You really thought you could pull any dude and turn him into a husband. You mixed up dudes who just wanted to sleep with you with dudes who actually wanted to marry you. You was drunk off your looks in your prime. You forgot one thing. Yeah, you hold access to sex, but men hold access to marriage. Now you done burned the rest of your youth running the streets, and only now you remember what he told you. Y'all always wake up when it's too late.
If you ask a woman and you say, "Oh, are you dating right now?" she'll probably tell you no, or she'll tell you that, she's not in a relationship and hasn't been in a relationship for months or years. But if you ask her and you say, "So are you celibate?" the truth is no. Or the answer is usually no. She's still sleeping with someone, which means the dude that she's rewarding on an intimate level, she doesn't want to talk about that. No. Women don't go on these long dry spells like you think they do. Women always have somebody. And until you start to understand this, that you were raised since childhood to always respect women, and women were raised since childhood to always put themselves first, until you start to break free of that, you're in for a rude awakening, because it is going to get harder and harder and harder for you to communicate effectively.
This guy slapped my ass as I was walking past him at a bar, and without any pause or hesitation, I turned around and I picked him up.
Cap. Sorry, I called Cap all the way around. I hate to be the one getting on the internet calling you a liar, but first of all, I went on your page, baby. You don't have no ass. Damn. You got that disease. No ass at all. If he would have went to go slap your ass, he would have missed due to the lack of target.
I'm frustrated because I, my whole world got disheveled. And I feel like he has moved on, and he is healed and moved on and doesn't care about me, which I don't want him to come back into my life, but it still just sucks, I can't imagine, thank you guys for sharing stuff, like stories that you've gotten through this and it's been however many years, because I could not imagine that.
One thing you gotta learn about modern women is this. When they leave you, they low-key get a kick out of seeing you break down. They want to see you cry, see you crash out. That's why they be looking confused when a man stays solid, hold his emotions, and move on in silence. They love stalking you too. Social media, real life, whatever. Just checking to make sure you ain't got nothing going on without them. But the second you find somebody new, now they the ones crashing out, like they wasn't the one who ended it. It really hurt them to see you happy without them, even when they don't want you back.
To this day, I get blamed for how severely he screwed my life up. I can't sleep, I can't eat, I can't drink anything without feeling pain, true pain. And I get blamed for feeling this way. And it is just ridiculous how someone can hurt you so much. And just expect you to move on from it and not care and just move on like as if nothing happened. And I will never wish this pain on anyone.
How you gonna say that man hurt you so bad, but then act confused on how he moved on fast? If he really did you dirty, shouldn't you be glad he moved on or feel sorry for the female he is seeing? Look, fellas, don't fall for them fake tears. I bet she's seen her ex-husband out here living good with a new woman, and that's what really getting to her. She watching somebody else live the life she wanted. And peep this, she talking about how she get blamed for feeling this way? Nah, that tell you everything. She the problem. She the one who filed for divorce, but now she on the internet trying to play victim.
A woman has two boyfriends, Alex and Chris. She tells Alex about Chris, but doesn't tell Chris about Alex. My question is, who does she actually love more? Let me know.
Divorced men, 70 to 80% of the time, I would argue in relationships, it's probably similar. Men aren't leaving, women are. So to a guy's point of view, he's going to commit to this girl. And what does he get? He doesn't get purity anymore. You know, these hoes, you know, he doesn't get youth anymore. So he doesn't get either of those things. A lot of times she already has a kid. So he's not fulfilling his mating strategy. On top of that, even if he does find a good woman that maybe has the qualities he's looking for, she was going to want him to marry her. And what does he get out of that? Oh, she can leave and take half and take my kid. And she's paid to take my kids away from me. She gets more money if she takes my children. And so from the men's point of view, they're just kind of like, F it, because like women aren't wives nowadays. And what do they get out of it? But like men are logical. They're logical people. And so they're thinking, does the benefit outweigh the cost? And like, I just think as women, we have to look at ourselves and say, the benefits we bring nowadays don't outweigh the cost for.
Modern women don't care what a man wants in a wife. They really don't. Feminism told them not to. Most ain't virgins, got high body counts, move masculine, feel entitled, and brag about being promiscuous. They are rewarded by the system to break their marriage even without a reason. The funny thing is, they call themselves feminists, but still want the perks women enjoyed under the patriarchy. They say they modern, but expect men to stay traditional.
Is there anybody out there who got divorced and like regrets it? Especially women. Women 35, 40, 45. Please tap in and let me know, because at this point I am like probably not 99, maybe 89% sure that I'm probably going to be divorced within the next year. So I can't stay with this. I can't be with you. I can't. And I feel like I've tried so hard. So I've been married for 3 years. People always ask me. And it's really gotten to the point where it's like the past like probably 2 months have just been the worst. To where it's like, oh, maybe we just call it. Maybe we just call a spade a spade. But then I'm like, I remember when my parents got divorced, and I do not want to put, like my son through that. But also doing it for the kids is not enough. Love is not enough. Getting married, I kind of regret getting married for love, because I damn sure did get married for money. But I'm also just like, as a Christian, shouldn't get divorced. No, like whatever it is, we can work it out. It's you and me against the world. But it's like, damn, do I want to be miserable? How long do I want to be miserable for? And the thing that I also hate is like I feel like people don't share this part of marriage. Like when people are in the thick of it, because I was watching this interview with like DeVal and Kadeen, and I think he said the first 3 to 5 years of their marriage was like hell, but they stuck it out, and now they've been married for what, like 10, 15 years, and they, seem to be happy. I don't know, but it's like
love ain't enough. Doing it for the kids ain't enough. Obeying God to stay and hold it down ain't enough. So what on earth is enough for women?
I used to think a woman's past didn't matter until this one time that I got invited over to my cousin's house. We were all sitting around their bonfire after dinner. They had invited some friends and another cousin of ours. And in the midst of the conversations, the attention got put on me. And they asked me if I've been seeing anybody lately because, recently I became single again. And I was like, yeah, like I've been seeing this one girl. She came over, we've been spending the night and all this stuff. And my cousin was like, oh yeah, Vinny got his little hoes, but what he needs is a good girl that's not going to give it up on the first night. So that's when my other cousin chimes in, the one that was recently married. And she's like, oh yeah, I made Steven wait at least 2 months before he was able to get any. And my boy was sitting there like all proud and shit, like that shit sucked, but it was worth it. That's when I was like, you see, like I want that too. But then I'm scared that like, if a girl makes me wait that long and then I find out that she had a one-night stand in her past. And then that's when they look at me and they're like, but why does that even matter? And that's when I was like, well, if the whole point of making a man wait is for self-respect and for preservation, then that goes out the window if you gave it to somebody else on the first night. So there's really no point. Because they're just gonna feel like you put on a good girl mask just because you seen a future with me, but not with the person you let hit on the first night, And the whole time that I was giving my explanation, all I'm seeing is like my little cousin, the 16-year-old, she's in the back like, And as soon as I finish talking, she looks over at her sister and she's like, My cousin's like, what? And she's like, what about the guy in Mexico? But I tell you guys, her face went fucking pale. Like, she didn't even know what to say. And then her husband's like, what guy in Mexico? So at that moment, I'm pretty sure we all realized that he didn't know about the guy in Mexico. And at that point, he had got up, walked into the house, and my cousin followed after him. And honestly, we didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal. But a month later, they actually announced that they were separating. But I think we all learned a valuable lesson that day. For me, it was just because she make you wait does not make her worth my time.
So recently I caught up with an old friend and she was telling me that she got divorced, and I was so surprised because her and her husband were such a cute couple and they had been together for 11 years. So I asked her, like, what happened? I figured something bad happened. She's like, honestly, I was just bored. Like, my husband, all he did was work. I was a stay-at-home mom. We had 3 kids and I just got lonely and bored. And she had other friends that had, you know, boyfriends, or like they had just got married, and they were always going out, always going on vacation, always partying, like going to the club, going to the bar, hanging out with friends, and they did none of that. And when she would bring it up to her husband would always tell her, like, I gotta work. Like, you know, they had a big house, they had nice things, like he was just trying to work. So they ended up getting divorced, and now, you know, she's single, she lives alone, she's working, and she's dating. So then I told her, oh, well, that must be exciting, like dating and stuff. And she's like, no, I can hate it. And I was like, why? And she's like, because all they want to do is just have fun. They just want to go to the club. They just want to go to the bar. They just want to hang out, have a good time, and then that's it. She said, no one wants to help me out. Like, I'm trying to find someone that's going to help take care of my kids. She's like, I just want someone to be a provider, not just a good time. So I was all like, well, wasn't that what your husband was doing? And she's like, I know. And I guess now her ex-husband is dating someone, like, seriously. They have been divorced for a total of 3 years, and he has been dating this girl for 2 years. She has 2 kids, and they're already living together. She says that he's fully taking care of her. Like, the girl doesn't work, she's a stay-at-home mom. They haven't had any new kids, but they're planning on having kids. And she's pissed because she's like, how can he move on so fast? Like, you know, I can't even find nobody, and he just found someone so quick, and he didn't even want to give us another try, like, blah, blah, blah. And I was so confused because I was like, okay, so you divorced him because he was always working and you were bored. So now you're single, going out, having a good time, dating, but you don't like that. Now you want someone to take care of you, a provider. And your ex-husband, all he wanted to do was be a provider. That's why now he is dating someone who he has no problem providing for her and her kids. And she's pissed because she's like, why would he go and find someone who has kids? Like, he already has kids. Why would he want to take on that responsibility? And I'm like, wait, aren't you looking for someone to take on that?
How she mad at her husband for moving on fast when she the one out here finding dude after dude who cracked and dipped. She left a healthy marriage just to turn herself into a sex object for multiple men. She really thought her husband was gonna be a simp, just sitting there waiting while she had her fun, then welcome her back with open arms. That was the plan the whole time. Cheat without guilt, then come back and reconsummate the marriage like nothing happened. But it didn't go like that.
Good morning. Today we're gonna switch it up. On today's episode of the greatest shit I ever heard on the internet. Hold on.
And I'll just never ever will get over the fact there's really bitches out here in the world that never dated their baby father. Never went on no dates, never received no flowers, never did anything. Just popped the baby out. Don't even know the man's middle name.
What I said, this is 95% of you baby mothers. Y'all have never been on a date with your baby father, but get on the internet talking about that men need to provide for y'all. Your man has never taken you to D&B, Dave and Buster's, but he did take you to Dick and Balls. I said that in my previous video. I'm not lying because there's other black queens saying the same thing. So before the snowstorm coming, I'm locked in with my nigga for the weekend. I want to ask a question. Why you didn't make your baby father do all this extravagant stuff that now you want these other niggas to do for you? Why didn't y'all do that? I'm gonna tell you why. Because you liked your baby father. You wanted to fuck him so bad. You was plotting on that nigga. You thought he had money because he had on his Man's Amiri jeans. You thought he had money when he was just borrowing clothes. You thought You had one. And you did it. And so now that you thought you had one and you didn't have one, now you angry. And now every other black man that comes into your life gotta pay for what this nigga did. Bitch, you stupid. Y'all think we don't know what's going on? Y'all think I don't know what's going on? You think my niggas don't know what the fuck is going on? Are you bitches dumb? Y'all not smarter than me. Let's cut the shit.
So let's talk about a narcissist discards you, right? You're in the discard phase, whatever the case may be. You've been discarded or you're being discarded. And they're mad at you. Think about that a minute. They're pushing you away. They've already pushed you away, or maybe you're divorced and have been divorced for some time or separated for some time. And every encounter you have, if you've got children, they're mad at you. They just want to still continue to make you suffer. Why? Why are they so reactive with you? They were reactive with you when you were with them, but they didn't want to let you go. And then they do let you go, and they're still reactive with you. Why? Because they couldn't control you. Because you didn't behave. Like I always say, you didn't stay in your corner. You questioned them. They wanted their cake, and they wanted to eat it too. They wanted to do whatever they wanted to do, and they wanted you to shut up. And not question, not invalidate them in any way, not make them better, not actually have a partnership, not have any types of discussion. They wanted to be in charge of the money. They wanted your money. They wanted to talk about you behind your back to make them look good. They never wanted to have your back. Oh, they're mad at you for so many reasons. At you for all of those reasons. Think about that.
Look, most women run off male attention. Whether they like you or not, they still feed on it. And it's worse with the entitled, narcissistic ones. That's why you'll see a woman throw you choosing signals. Then when you step up, she try to play you, belittle you, and reject you. It ain't because she wants you. She just wants your attention and gets validation by rejecting you. Same reason you see women leave their husband or boyfriend, but be dying inside when he ain't biggin' and he done moved on with somebody else. They hate that. Why? Because you took away the validation they was getting from your attention. If you learn how to control how much attention you give and you master your emotions as a man, believe me, you already won 90% of the battle.
The supreme level that she found in herself. Oh!
No, he's gonna scratch. It is what it is. It is what it is.